Seriously, Gaoibh chuirde agus a camaraí. Red Finian Punk back again. I've been away for a while, or a bit sporadic in my uploads because, well, battling with various health issues, and I've been perma-banned off TikTok, as some of you may realise. That's made uploading to YouTube a bit more difficult because you can't just put stuff on there. TikTok, fucking loathsome though it is, it's good for getting some information that you can't get on mainstream media. As long as you have to wade through all, as long as you're prepared to wade through all the crap and right-wing misinformation. But hey, that's such is life. And it was a good way of uploading stuff onto YouTube. But hey, I'm having to do it the more old-fashioned, difficult way now, and I'm crap at editing, which is why my videos are never did look flashy. Anyway, I thought I'd come back when I'm feeling a bit better, and I thought better do it now before it gets too fucking late just to become irrelevant. I wanted to talk about, well, our community. I'm from the Irish diaspora. I was born in England, central England, to family from the west of Ireland, you know, these places. The culchies, as they call us. Fuck off. Anyway, yeah. Now, I was born in England in the early 70s, yes, I am that old. I'm a Generation Xer, and I left my 40s a couple of years ago. I grew up in a time, well, the Long War, as it has been known in our community, often euphemistically, well, more well known euphemistically by the British name, the Troubles. That was going on across the Irish Sea in the occupied 6 counties in the northeast of the island. Now, my family didn't come from there, but we, in the diaspora over here, we grew up in the shadow of that, because most of these like sun-reading racist Brits only knew about Ireland insofar as they'd see a bomb going off and they thought we were all a bunch of terrorists or dirty Fenians if they were loyalists. That's where I get my name from. Fenians were an Irish rebel group of the 19th century. The Irish Republican movement was more of a 20th century thing, but anyway, that's a tangent. Now, the racism in Britain's a funny one, because Britain's very sort of geographically reductionist. Now, if you're born into a black or non-white community, such as the South Asian community, or the East Asian community, or the African or Afro-Caribbean community, you're told to fuck off back to your own country, to fuck off back to the jungle. Don't know why, apparently they think that everybody who's dark-skinned lives in a jungle. Like I say, racist society, very. Now, they were told, even the ones born here were told that they're not British, they don't belong here, and they're dirty foreigners taking the jobs, and Enoch Powell was right, and people like that, they're eulogised as heroes. Lauded as heroes, should I say. Now, us on the other hand, because we were classed as white people, although 100 years ago we were not classed as white, but that's another story, I'll talk about that another time. Because of this, the white privilege kind of sets in, and we get told that we are not Irish, we are English because we were born here. I mean, if I'd been born in a stable, apparently that would make me a horse. That's the logic. Now from this community came people like me. You had some people, you know, some of them sort of integrated so much as to become more English than the English. They had just very English accents. And they just became British, or they called themselves half Irish, even though they weren't half Irish. Some of them, like Noel fucking Gallagher and people like that, said he was half Irish, but he's not. He's full-blooded, both sides of his family, but fuck him anyway. We had people like Johnny Rotten, who became a right-wing West Brit, but let's not talk about him. But then we also had a more likeable character who died recently, called Shane McGowan. Now him, along with the other members of the band, Koch O'Riordan, Andrew Rankin, Jem Finer, Spider Stacey, and a plethora of other people that were in it. I can't even remember half the names off the top of my head. They burst onto the scene in the mid-80s with their album Rum, Sodomy and the Lash. The most famous song off that album was Dirty Old Town, written by Ewan MacColl, whose daughter later did an even more famous duet, The Fairy Tale of New York. Rest in peace, Kirsty. Now, when they first appeared on the Late Late Show, which, for those of you who don't know, the Late Late Show is a kind of old flagship TV talk show on RTE in the Irish Free State. It was for the most of its early years. It was presented by a guy called Gay Byrne, who some people liked. He was very good at what he did, but he was a bit of a West Brit, unfortunately, as most Irish celebrities are in the Free State. Now, on a first appearing on the Late Late Show in 1985, they did their version of the first song on that album, which is called The Sickbed of Cuchulainn, a wonderful tune. Gay Byrne gave him something of a frosty reception. He was polite, but he wasn't what you call friendly about them. I think the kind of Irish diaspora have often been a source of embarrassment, especially to the middle classes, the West British middle classes in the Irish Free State. They like to think that they are the be-all and end-all of Irishness. They don't like people in the north, so people from the 6 counties get these little microaggressions, and people who are from England get called the Black and Tans and Oliver Cromwell and so on and so forth. And this is kind of ironic because some of the people who say that and become very gatekeepy about the Irish identity are often descended from the middle classes and the Irish planters. Some of them have very English and Scottish and Welsh and Anglo-Norman names. This isn't a coincidence, and of course they will get gatekeepy about what is and what isn't Irish. Geographical reductionism comes into it. I'm rattling on here now, but anyway, Shane MacGowan and the Pogues came onto the scene. Sadly, unfortunately, he had many of the stereotypes like the alcoholism, and he also had drug addiction. But you know, in spite of that, he still came through. He gave us a voice in the Irish diaspora. He never claimed he was born in England. He never claimed he was born in Ireland like some of them do. He was born in the home counties I think in the London area in 1957. So he was of the baby boom generation, and he burst onto the scene, part of the punk scene, fusing punk rock, the anger and rage that we all felt on the baby boom and Generation X age groups felt towards the growing up in either Labour or Tory fucking governments. I grew up under the Thatcher fucking junta of the 1980s, and my God, did that make you pissed off. Punk rock saved my life. Listening to Irish rebel songs also made me give me a bit of restored what little sanity I had. Now, Shane MacGowan brilliantly and the Pogues brilliantly fused these two genres, the anger of punk and the beautiful melodies and songs and poetic lyrics of Irish folk music and Irish rebel songs. They never pandered to the West Britery like fucking West Brit fucks like U2 and the Boomtown Rats did, accepting knighthoods like, you know, Sir Bob, and Bono suddenly becoming best pals with Shane MacGowan when he's famous. That fucker shat on more people outside of Ireland who embarrassed his fucking Free State sensibilities. So fuck you, Bono. Gov suicide féin a chucksmuchí into, and you Geldof. Now Shane never sold his soul to those fuckers. I mean, he became pally with them, I'm sure, but hey, you know, he was never offered a knighthood or anything like that, but he never tried to pretend he was some respectable version of Irishness like U2, the Cranberries, etc. He said, no, I'm Irish, I'm a Republican, and I'm proud of that. And he always remained defiant. And when he died, it was a great loss to us, because that bloke gave us a fucking voice in the diaspora. We didn't have to feel apologising constantly for being Irish. We weren't, because that's what we were told. I hope you're not one of those Irish. And when we'd see fuckers in the Free State telling us that we're not Irish, because we were getting shat on for our Irishness and told we were not Irish, then we were Irish, and then we're not Irish, then we are Irish when it suits them. When we go home, you're told that you're fucking English. And you get fuckheads like Dolores O'Riordan writing that putrid song, fucking Zombie, accusing us of being zombies because we still feel the bitterness of colonisation, because I'm all right, Jack, I'm a middle-class fucking cow in County Limerick. I don't care about that anymore. Well, you might not care about it, but we fucking do, so fuck off. Anyway, let's not speak ill of the dead. It's not very Irish, is it? Which brings me back to Shane. When we lost him, we lost a poet. We lost something of a kind of artistic genius. And it's a shame that he's gone, and he's not forgotten, and I won't forget him. I won't forget him. Because this bloke gave, like I say, he gave us a voice, he put us on the map, and people actually realise that you can be from the Irish diaspora, and you can actually be a genuine Irish citizen. You don't have to be born there. What's in here is what's in here is what makes you Irish, not being born on one side of that fucking artificial border in the Irish Free State or 6 counties. Yeah, you know, he sang songs about life in the diaspora, and it made us sound like we actually were Irish. We didn't just have to integrate and renounce and denounce and reject our own identity. We could be Irish from Britain at the same time. And we'll never call ourselves British. I'll never even call myself an Englishman, even though I grew up in South Staffordshire, and I now live in Newcastle on Tyne. But I am not. Excuse me. We're still an Irish bastard. I might be an honorary Geordie these days, but I'm still an Irish bastard to the core. Shane was the guy that gave us a voice on that, and I will always have time for that guy. Rest in power, sunshine. Chucky ar law, agus gan Irion Borhalif Galer Macharja.